Did I scare you? We are reading Catherine Applegate, Roscoe Riley Rules. Never glue your friends to chairs. And we were starting chapter 6, The Secret Handshake. Just gonna get right into it. When I got to my classroom, my friends Gus and Emma ran over to say hello. The first thing we did was our secret handshake. Here's how it goes, in case you would like to try it. Scream each other's name. Wait for the teacher to say, inside voices, please. Do a high five. Do a low five. Stick out your tongue, get all serious and say, how do you do, Mr. Riley? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at those faces. I get in trouble every day. Of course, you would not say Riley, probably. It would be pretty amazing if we had the same last name. Emma pointed to my elbows. Cool sparkle band-aids, Roscoe. I mostly always have a band-aid on me somewhere. Or a cast, or a sling. Mom says to think of it all as fashion statement. And when I was 4, I even had an eye patch. The eye patch was black, totally pirate. How'd you get the band-aids? Gus asked, racing my Hot Wheels car down the stairs. I said, the Hot Wheels won. Household accidents are the most common cause of injuries in children, said Emma. Emma teaches me lots of interesting facts. She was born in China. Her parents adopted her when she was a baby. I wish I was born in China instead of just Kalamazoo. Gus teaches me lots of useful things too. Just last week, he showed me how to make armpit farts. Yeah, you heard it right. What's in the bag, Roscoe? Emma asked. Our stuff for Miss D's, I said. I opened the bag. Gus and Emma peeked inside. Cool head, Gus said. Her name was Drusilla, I said. Before I brain surgery her. Super mega gonzo glue, Gus said. Whoa, my mom won't let me near the stuff. Me either, said Emma. Me either, I said, but I figure Miss Diz could use some of it. For when we break stuff. Let's go show her what I brought. Miss Diz was busy stapling butterfly pictures to the bulletin board. Miss Diz isn't really her name, but her real name is too hard to say. It uses maybe half of the alphabet. Oh my goodness. So she cut off the end for my class. Maybe when I grow up, I'll be called Mr. Rye for short. Or not. I handed Miss Diz the bag of art supplies. This is for you, I said. Okay, this is the Miss D's. Is for the art cupboard. There's special glue in there, and I even included a free head. Miss D's frown. What kind of a head, Roscoe? Just a doll head. I smiled so she wouldn't worry. Since Miss Diz is new, she gets mixed up sometimes. I try to help her out whenever I can. After all, I was a kindergartner last year, so I really know everything there is to know about school. For example, Miss Diz forgot the janitor's name. I remember it was Mr. McGilly. She said to call him when Gus threw up his ravioli after lunch. Sometimes Miss Diz looks pretty pooped by the end of the day. I hope she doesn't decide to go into another line of work. My kindergarten teacher did that. It wasn't my fault. Probably. Although I think maybe she got a little frustrated when I painted the class hamsters green. Because it was St. Patrick's Day. Hamsters like to look perky for the holidays. Mrs. checked her watch. Class, she said in a loud voice. Then she put a finger on her lips. That means shh. I know you're all excited about the open house today, said Miss Dees. We're going to have a dress rehearsal first thing this morning. Dress rehearsal, and when you practice with costumes and stuff. It doesn't mean you have to wear a dress. Let's just hope things got a little better when they did yesterday, Miss D said with a laugh. I'm sure today we'll all be on our best behavior. Poor old brand Miss D's. Brand new Miss D's. I think maybe she forgot about our high spirits. Chapter 7. Mess rehearsal. Oh no. Okay. First, I want all you bees to put on your antenna, said Miss Dees. Real bees use their head bubbles to smell and feel things. I hope I'm saying that right. Bubbles? You know what I mean. But ours were just made of pipe cleaners and styrofoam balls with glitter on them. They were attached to a plastic headband thingy, shaped like a great big upside down U. Last year, the third graders used the bubbles for a play about butterflies. So the headbands were a little stretched out by their gigantic third grade heads. When we were ready, Mrs. went to the music cupboard. She handed each drummer 2 red tapping sticks. We use the sticks for music time. They are our instruments. Only really I would rather have a drum set or a tuba. I know how much fun the sticks are, children, said Miss Dees, but as you may recall, some of you got a little carried away yesterday. I think maybe she was looking at me, but I wasn't the only one who got in stick trouble. Gus was the one who started the pretend sword fight. I was not guilty. Mostly. Our rhythm section sits in the chairs, said Miss Dees, nice and still. That was me, and Gus, and Dewan, and Maria, and Coco. All the other bees in the back row, said Miss Dees, standing up nice and tall. We all got in our places. Bees and bee drummers, bubbles and sticks. We were ready for action. Okay, let's sing nice and clear, said Miss Dees. No poking with the sticks. How about swords? The one asked. No swords, said Miss Dees. How about death rays? Gus asked. No death rays, said Miss Dees. When I count to 3, start singing. Here is how our bee song goes. Busy bees, fussy bees, look at us fly. Bees are the best bugs. You want to know why? We make our own honey and soar in the sky. Can you do what we do? We dare you to try. I don't know if this is a real song that you guys know, but I don't know how it goes, so I just read it. Great job, said Miss Dees. When we were done, Roscoe, you sound especially wonderful, but you need to hear the other kids too. He's blowing out my eardrums, Miss Dees, Coco explained. My head bubbles keep falling off, Wyatt said. Miss Dees took a deep breath. I know the antenna don't fit very well, children. Just do the best you can. Let's try the song one more time. This time, let me hear those sticks pounding out the rhythm. We sang again. I was not so loud this time. But if you ask me, they were missing out. Better, said Miss Dees when we were done. Look at him screaming. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's his tongue or amygdalas. His tonsos. It was his tongue. My bubbles keep falling in my eyes, Hassan said. Oh dear, said Miss This. Maybe we should just forget about the antenna. But we have to have bubbles, Coco cried. Otherwise, how will our parents know we're bees? You make a good point, Coco. Hassan, bring me your antenna, said Miss Dees. Maybe I can tighten them up a little. While Miss Dees worked on Hassan's bubble, Maria started tapping her sticks. The one tapped along. Gus tapped too. On my head. Oh my God. Children, said Miss Dees. She was still trying to fix Hassan's bubble. No tapping, please. We sat and waited. While we sat there, I came up with a new invention. I put the rhythm sticks in my mouth. I made them point straight down. Ta-da! Walrus teeth! I think when I grow up, I may be a famous inventor. Or else, an ice cream truck driver. The one and Gus laughed at my walrus teeth. Maria put her sticks on her head. She looked like an alien. Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at all the kids with their antennas. Oh. Even more people laughed. Gus put his sticks up his nose. He just looked gross. Pretty soon we were all tapping and laughing and being walruses and aliens, except Gus. He just kept the sticks up in his nose. Children, said Miss Dees loudly, but we couldn't hear her very well. What with all the tapping and laughing? Gus held up one of his nose sticks. I challenge you to a duel, he cried. Yuck, said Coco. I jumped up on my chair. So did Gus. You can't sword fight sitting down. We sort of forgot about the no sword fighting rule. Oh no. Look. Ooh. They're gonna get in trouble. Roscoe, Gus, children. Miss Dis held her hand and put a finger to her lips. Quiet down now. We got very quiet. Gus and I froze on our chairs. Miss Dis pointed to the doorway. Mr. Goose Garden was standing there. He's the principal. That is the big boss of the school. He's mostly nice. Unless you've been making bad choices. Then you have to sit in his office and think about your behavior. When that happens, Mr. Goose Garden wears his I mean business face. And right now, Mr. Goose Garden had, his I really mean business face. Chapter 8, How to Speak Teacher. Children, said Mr. Goose Garden, I certainly hope you won't disappoint your parents with this kind of rowdy behavior at the open house. Coco raised her hand. Roscoe started it, Mr. Goose Garden, she said. He made walrus teeth. Coco was not really being helpful, if you ask me. I'm sure Roscoe will remember that walrus teeth are not appropriate, said Mr. Goose Garden, and that chairs are for sitting, not sword fighting. He winked at me. Mr. Goose Garden and I go way back. Sorry, I said. I didn't know there was a no walrus teeth rule. That's okay, Roscoe, said Mr. Goose Garden. I know you will come through this afternoon. He smiled at Miss Dees. Don't worry, he said. The first year of teaching is always the hardest. Mr. Goose Garden waved goodbye. The door closed behind him. Miss Dees sighed. She looked at the clock on the wall. It was way past for reading groups. Oops. Let's take off the head bubbles, and I mean the antenna. Just do the best you can this afternoon. She sounded sort of worn out. I felt bad about the walrus teeth incident. Like I said before, kids have so many rules to remember. There are a gazillion things we're not supposed to do. Who knew making walrus teeth was one of them? After we put away the bubbles and sticks, we sat at tables for reading groups. Reading is fun, but it can be very hard work. You can get pretty thirsty trying to make those letters into words. After I read 4 whole sentences, I went to the water fountain to get a drink. The fountain is next to the art cupboard. Just then, Mr. Frisbee came in. He's a kindergarten teacher. May I borrow some chalk? Mr. Frisbee asked Miss Dees. Sure, said Miss Dees. She opened the art cupboard. I could see the art supplies I brought, including Drusilla's head. And the don't you dare glue. Miss Dees gave Mr. Frisbee a fresh box of chalk. Here you go, she said. How was the dress rehearsal? Mr. Frisbee asked. Miss Dees whispered something I couldn't hear. Then she laughed. At this rate, I'll be looking for another job soon. Oh no. They both laughed. But I was pretty sure it was worried laughing. Maybe you're wondering how I could tell. After all, teachers can be confusing. Not as confusing as parents, but still, sometimes teachers have trouble expressing themselves. Fortunately, I have served in preschool and kindergarten already. Also, Mommy and Me music. And Jimborama. My clay class. Pots for tots. I'm happy to explain teacher stuff to you. Here is my goof-proof Roscoe Riley teacher translator. Oh my lord. She's got one hand on one eye, took her glasses off and said, I told you not to feed glitter to the goldfish. Really, shh. Take the Play-Doh out of your ear this instant. I quit just like the kindergarten teacher. Oh my goodness. See these pictures? Poor teacher. Okay. Break. It's pretty easy to understand, teachers, once you get the hang of it. I'm still working on figuring out how to speak parent, though. I thought about what Miss Dees has said to Mr. Frisbee. At this rate, I'll be looking for another job soon. What if Mr. Goose Garden fired Miss Dees? Just because of our rowdy behavior? That would be awful. After all, Miss Dees is a great teacher, even if she's just a beginner. Then I thought about my kindergarten teacher from last year, the one who changed jobs after I painted the hamsters. She works at an office now with no kids in it and no green hamsters. How boring is that? I could not let such a horrible thing happen to Miss Dees. Oh no. Okay, chapter 9. We're gonna stop right here and follow with another video. This one is kind of long. It's not, I mean, it's got a lot of chapters, but it's more reading than pictures. So stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. We're gonna find out some good stuff, okay? So be good. We'll see you later in another video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe, and give me some ideas for more books if you have any. I would greatly appreciate it, because I don't know what you guys like. So be good for goodness sake. And if you're in school now, then you know that you have to be on your best behavior. Don't glue people to anything. Okay? Bye.